For those of you, well, welcome to the Poetry Cafe and welcome to our Dodo Modern Poets Mayfly this evening. Mayfly, that some of you may know, is a insect that just lives one day, and I hope that you all have better longevity than that and at least last to the end of the show.
Well, apparently the world's ending tomorrow, so...
What?
Apparently the world's ending tomorrow.
Oh dear, the world's ending tomorrow, so make the most of tonight, spend plenty of money at the bar. If you haven't been to the Poetry Cafe before, just to tell you that you probably found all the facilities, but the bar is upstairs, the loos are at the back here, and we normally have after about 40 minutes, we have an interval of about 20 minutes, and there'll be another 40 minutes, so we should be over by about 10 o'clock, and there's plenty of time if you want to stay and relax and have a drink. There is another event going on upstairs tonight, not in the bar, but in the room above that, so I've asked the people at the bar to let them know not to make a lot of noise if they come for a drink, because as you can see there's no door that separates us from the bar upstairs, which is a bit of a design flaw, but there you are. They don't have to put up with that at the National Theatre, do they? Anyway, I will just, it sounds as though it's gone quiet up there at the moment, so
Patrick, I've got somebody arriving soonish.
okay, it's all right, they can interrupt me.
Yeah.
So, we've got a wonderful show tonight. We have Lizzie Shirley, you just heard from there, Graham Buchan, Kate Potts. But first of all, Patrick Cunane is going to come in and read a few poems. Hello. Okay, so this is, thank you very much. Applause before you've heard anything, that's quite encouraging. Reading Chekhov in the beautiful rain. Reading Chekhov in the beautiful rain that falls on Thursdays, the nourishing rain at the comforting bus stop, reading Chekhov in that beautiful rain. The rain that falls on Thursday evening, the rain that invests in our rivers and seas, the rain that compounds interest with ease. Imagining Chekhov in the beautiful rain, creating stories that mirror the season, scratching a legacy to leave the world, the peasants of Russia, naked, unfurled. Here at this stop on a Thursday evening, safely sheltered from the beautiful rain, loving the sound as it hits the paving, our saviour from heaven filling the drain, watching the rain, the beautiful rain, sluicing and swooshing through Chekhov's terrain. On Thursday evening, an oasis of rhyme, the rain brings us nourishment in Chekhov time. I thought I'd do a couple of love poems as it's sort of that time of year, spring, mayflies, living, dying, and day later, etc. This is a poem with origins 2,500 years ago. It comes from Ovid's series, Amoras, and it's called Waiting for Corinna, and it's a poem about two lovers meeting in the afternoon and having a nice time. And it's had a long history actually, because in 1583 Christopher Marlowe wrote a new version of it, and then in 1968 someone called Guy Lee wrote a nice version for the swinging 60s. So I thought it's time to update it, and so here's Waiting for Corinna, my new version. Waiting for you, Corinna, that summer afternoon, window half open, casting a lazy light, like the hour after sunset, dawn's first kiss, the half-light shy girls need to hide their fears. So you came, Corinna, fresh air in a short dress, waterfall of hair flecking the palest neck, lovely as all your lovers say, a princess stealing in. I lifted your dress, you wriggled fish-like, a slim brown trout, torn between the river, your own desire. You paused, lovely beyond compare, naked, glistening, nipples granting me permission. Breasts high above your brown stomach, tiny waist, old enough thighs. Why say more? you stepped toward me. Later we slept, no regrets, where now such summers, where such sex. And this is, thank you, this is a poem about love affairs that begin in the spring that fail to outlive the summer. It's called The World's Loudest Fuck. The day we met, you wore a shimmering skirt. You were 24, ripe as a peach orchard. It was weeks before you came to me. Then began the season of remorseless sex, when night melted into day, day into night. We lived on Marmite toast and pizza, while spring tiptoed into summer. You were the world's loudest fuck. Whoops, screams, punching the headboard, kicking, biting, getting very wet, very abandoned. Afterwards you sent me postcards, caught out by desire while shopping, the stamp moistened by cunt juice. Our lust affair ended quite suddenly. You had places to go, people to see. I demanded an explanation, but there was none. You were simply moving on. I retired, moderately hurt. Though all the better for all that fucking, it took some time to lick summer back into shape, to forget how you licked asparagus, allowing the butter to slide from your lips. It took some time to forget how you loved, licking and sucking and getting very wet and very, very, very abandoned. I wanted to spend a moment or two talking to you about my father's relationship with Wordsworth. And this is a poem about how, but for a circumstance of time and coincidence, my father and Wordsworth would have met each other.
Hi, sorry.
It's okay, do come in. Wordsworth died in 1850 and he lived in England, of course, and my father was born in 1911 in Sligo in the west of Ireland. If it hadn't been for those facts, they'd have been absolute close mates, I'm sure. So this is it, my father and Wordsworth. My father was born 61 years after Wordsworth died. This is how we are linked to the past. Wordsworth and my father never met, but only the span of a life separated them. Only the span of a life. Geographical location, inclination, and denomination separated them. Take away these random factors and a different picture emerges. Wordsworth and my father drinking Guinness in a snug in the west of Ireland, calling for snuff and postage stamps, sending for Coleridge to hear their latest magnum opus. My father poring over the 1799 version of the Prelude, alert to the possibility of poor scansion. These would have been happy times. Wordsworth and my father shooting the breeze, calling for porter, deciding to stay for just one more as Sligo's rain lashed down like the publican's friend it always is. But it was not to be, for they were separated by time and birth and place, these decent, one sung, one unsung champions of the human race. One of the books that I've got on sale tonight is called Time for Song, and it's a collection of poems about Cornwall by Cornish poets, or poets like myself who've been reading down there for many years and just getting interested in the history of the place and the people. And this is a poem about a mining disaster that took place towards the end of the 19th century, and it's called On the Dressing Floors at Grass, and the dressing floors at Grass is the mine surface. Before that suffocating moment when the bottom of Dolcoath fell in, a godsend of stones and dust signalled flight to safety, a scramble for the dressing floors at Grass. The collapsing Stull held granite 100 fathoms weight, and 7 men under crushed. Only Robert Davies survived among the matchstick timbers, clinging hard to life, and dreams of autumn mist curling on the dressing floors at grass. That morning, Captain Johns had ordered new timber balks from the hanging side to the footwall of the load, and work had just begun when the ground above opened like a road, creating a draught so fierce men fleeing were pinned against the rock, powerless of speech, while the boy, Jemmy Tresorna, was blown 4 fathoms through the choking dust, in hellish contrast to coastal breezes playing on the dressing floors at grass. But death had eaten well that day, and spared those pummeled by the violent air, sated by the lives of 7 who never more would see or pass, soft rain falling on the dressing floors at grass. This is my last poem in this first half, and if you haven't been here before, you will find that each poet reads in both halves of the show. Hopefully not the same material. Do come in, lurking person.
Hi.
Hello, come in.
Just twisted my knee going down the steps.
Oh,
Sorry.
do you want to have a hand with that?
That's okay, don't worry. Oh, thank you.
That's okay. Well, it's difficult to sit down while you're balancing a
Indeed, yes.
cup of, that sounds like quite a nice coffee actually.
Here we are. Empty space, thank you so much.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt the show.
That's all right.
Everybody.
You arrived at a good moment actually, just between poems. So anyway, this is my last poem in the first half, and I was just wanted to say something about Shakespeare because it was his birthday last month. And my father didn't actually know him either. Oh, what opportunities he missed. So see if this one sounds familiar. I like the Amores poem, the Ovid poem. I've reworked this poem a little bit. Shall I compare thee to a bloke called Ray? Thou art less slovenly and rarely late. By closing time he's spent his pay, and he's a wanker, though he's my mate. Sometimes he drinks Rhenish wines, and often is his red complexion rimmed. Fair's fair, each bloke sometimes declines. Not Ray, he drinks and drinks untrimmed. But thy always buy a round when paid, nor shall mine host forget your trade, nor forget about the round thou owest, when taxman calls to collect what's growest. So long as men can drink, with eyes to see, so lives Guinness, and this gives life to thee. Thank you very much.